Good morning, students. How are you all? In the previous session, we discussed what is heat and specific heat capacity and heat capacity. In this today's session, we are going to discuss how to measure the heat and the information further about heat. Then, calorimeter. What is the calorimeter? Calorimeter is a device which is used for measuring the heat. Calorimeter is a thin cylindrical vessel made of thin sheet of copper as illustrated in the figure. We can see the figure. Its outer and inner surfaces are highly polished. Outer and inner surfaces are highly polished as to prevent any heat loss due to the radiation. It is generally placed in a rectangular wooden jacket lined from inside with wool or cotton or wool or glass or wool or asbestos. These materials are poor conductors of heat energy and hence prevent the heat loss due to the conduction. The top of the calorimeter is covered with a wooden lid having two holes, one from of the thermometer and the other for copper stirrer. Two holes, one for the thermometer and one for copper stirrer. The lid is coated with tin or aluminum foil from inside. The lid prevents heat loss due to the convection and radiation. Finally, these are precautions are taken by the calorimeter without getting the radiation or getting extra heat from outside or inside heat is not able to go outside. Then remember, whenever the calorimeter is weighed, it is always weighed with the stirrer which is made from a copper wire. Stirrer is a part of the calorimeter. While taking weight, you have to take together. Principle of calorimetry. It is based on the law of conservation of energy which states. So calorimetry means a process which is using to measure the heat. In this, the principle is used. The energy in a system can neither be created nor can it destroyed, and the sum total of energy is a constant quantity. Losing energy or gaining energy, the both together is equal to the constant quantity. When a hot body is brought in contact with a cold body, then heat energy flows always from the hot body to the cold body till both bodies attain the same temperature. Then the principle is heat energy given out by the hot body is equal to heat energy absorbed by the cold body. We can see here the explanation what is. Consider a hot body P and its mass m1, specific heat capacity C1 and the temperature theta 1. Then a substance is taken as its name is P and its information what is the mass and what is specific heat capacity and the temperature. These are the initial. Then mixed with a cold substance Q. This is the cold substance. This is the hot substance and now Q is the cold substance. And its mass M2, specific heat capacity C2 and the temperature theta 2. Then finally if you bring P and Q to contact, then the temperature comes into the equilibrium. So while coming equilibrium, what will happen? The temperature or hotness travel from hot body to cold body. That means flows from hot body to cold body. That's why the temperature of hot body is reduces and the temperature of the cold body is increases. Once we will discuss how much temperature is falling and how much temperature is rising. Then theta F, falling temperature is theta 1 minus theta and rising temperature is theta minus theta 2. Because they both comes into the theta equilibrium, that is theta temperature. That means hot body is reduced to theta and cold body is raised to theta. That's why the difference of falling is the first one reduces theta 1 to theta. That's why theta 1 minus theta. Then the raising of heat of the cold body, that is the temperature theta R is theta minus theta 2 degrees Celsius. Then heat absorbed by the cold body is the formula mc theta, that is mass into specific heat capacity into temperature. Then m2 c2 theta minus theta 2, that is heat absorbed by the cold substance. Heat given out by the hot substance mass m1 and its specific heat capacity c1 and the temperature is gained or lost is theta 1 minus theta. Then they both will be equal. If no heat is lost to the surroundings, then heat given out by the hot substance is equal to heat absorbed by the cold substance. This is the principle. M1 C1 theta 1 minus theta is equal to M2 C2 theta minus theta 2. Then how shall we find out specific heat capacity of a solid? Specific heat capacity is a standard value. How shall we do that experimentally for a solid? Following are the steps involved in the determining the specific heat capacity of a metal or for the matter, any other substance which is insoluble. Take the given solid and break it in the form of small pieces to form powder. Then place the solid in the copper tube of a hypsometer. Fix a thermometer in the hypsometer. Hypsometer means that this is the device which is using for the calorimetry. Then this hypsometer tube such that the thermometer is completely surrounded by the solid. Heat the hypsometer. In the meantime, take the observations as listed from the point 3 to 8. Now take a clean and shining calorimeter along with a stirrer and weigh it very accurately on a physical balance. So take the weight of the calorimeter. Then fill the calorimeter with water which is slightly below the room temperature. Now fill the water with room temperature. Then record the weight. Now with water, before just simply without empty calorimeter is measured. Now with water we are measuring. Place the calorimeter in a wooden jacket lined with some insulating material like glass, wool or cotton wool, etc. and cover it with a wooden lid having 2 holes. Pass the thermometer through one hole and the stirrer through the other hole. Record the temperature of water. Now what is its temperature? You have to record it. That is the initial temperature. When the thermometer is placed in the copper tube, shows a constant temperature, record it and then remove the thermometer. Now transfer the hot solid as quickly as possible from the copper tube to the calorimeter. Now you have to shift the solid whose specific heat you are finding that. Then stir the mixture gently till a steady temperature is reached. Record the final temperature of mixture. Then remove the calorimeter from the insulated wooden jacket and reweigh it along with its content. Then calculate the specific heat capacity as under. Mass of the empty m grams, mass of the empty calorimeter with water, that is m1 grams. Then temperature of water with calorimeter is theta 1 initial temperature. Then when you shifted hot solid, that's hot solid independently, it is theta 2 degrees Celsius. Temperature of the mixer is theta degrees Celsius. That means only that when you mixed with the water, that time its temperature theta. Then only water theta 1 and only solid theta 2, then the mixture is theta. Then mass of the calorimeter plus water plus solid together m2 grams. Then specific heat capacity of water is 4.2, this is the standard value, and specific heat capacity of water or copper is 0.4. Then suppose as specific heat capacity of solid, we don't know that is taken as CS. Then mass of water only is the water only is the along with the m1 minus m. Then mass of solid only m2 minus m1. Rise in temperature is theta minus theta 1. Fall in temperature is theta 2 minus theta. Then heat gained by the calorimeter is m mass of calorimeter into specific heat of copper into is. Then that is equal to 0.40 m theta minus theta 1. This is the temperature. Heat gained by the water. So here heat gained by the calorimeter and heat gained by the water because two are together. Then here only the water mass m1 minus m into water specific heat capacity 4.2 into water gained the temperature is theta minus theta 1. Then heat gained by the water is 4.2 into m1 minus m into theta minus theta 1. Total heat gained by water and calorimeter is together add. Then heat lost by the hot solid is m2 minus m1. It is the mass of the solid into specific heat capacity of solid into the lost temperature of the solid, that is theta 2 minus theta. Then by the law of conservation of energy, heat energy given out is equal to heat energy absorbed. Then if you make equal, then we will get specific heat capacity of the solid is equal to 0.4 m plus 4.2 m1 minus m1 by m2 minus m1 into theta minus theta into theta minus theta 1. This is the specific heat capacity of the solid. Precautions during determination of specific heat capacity. The calorimeter should be clean and highly polished so as to minimize the heat loss due to the radiation. So calorimeter should be clean. The calorimeter should be insulated. A very sensitive thermometer should be used, and water in the calorimeter should be slightly below the room temperature. Transfer the solid from hypsometer tube to hypsometer which is the device using to heat the solid, that is hypsometer, and to the calorimeter as quickly as possible. You should not make delay. Gently stir the contents of the calorimeter and record the final temperature only when it becomes steady for more than 1 minute. Thank you children. Have a nice day.